Hey guys, today I'm coming at you from my office and I need to step onto the farm a little bit today. I've been working on my website for the last number of days, but I'm short-staffed today, so I've only got one guy working with me today, so I'm going to jump in and help Mark on the farm get some radishes. So what I'm going to show you is how I use my spreadsheets to find out what is available on the farm and where it's located. So for us with multiple locations, that can sometimes be challenging. I can't just look out the window. But even on a farm, a single site farm, knowing what's going to be ready and where it is will definitely save you time running back and forth and looking at, oh, is that crop ready or is that crop ready? Something like that. You know, you want to know exactly what you're getting and where it is. And so I'm going to show you how I use my spreadsheets for that. But first, I just want to show you one thing that I've done on my website that is meant to be a resources list for you guys who want to know what I use and where I get it. So you go to the urbanfarmer.co, click on resources, Curtis gear list. You've got this is going to be expanding. I've got some stuff in here to start, but I'm going to be adding more to it. Planting gear, what it is, where I get it, how I use it, a link to a video, description about it. So check that out. I'm going to be adding stuff more to this throughout time, and I'm hoping that at some point soon this will be sort of an encyclopedia of all the best gear or the really important gear that I use on my farm. So let's get into the spreadsheets. Okay, so what we're looking at here is my planting sheet, and this isn't that much different than the one that came with my book. And I've added a couple things to it. I've also reduced some fields. I've added a field called in field, and that's a representation of what's actually in the ground. And so when that crop is in the ground, I actually put a C next to it. So you can sort spreadsheets by each column. So right now, just to kind of explain how this works better, is if I sort this by location. So this is the plot it's in, the segment number or the bed number. And you can see, okay, here's one bed, Jan's, that's the name of the plot, bed 1. It's been planted 3 times already, and the third crop is what's currently in it. So when I'm planting that recent crop, I will delete the C out of the other columns of that bed. That way I can sort this, and then I can see what's in the field. So, and I also highlight them green. So if you're using numbers, it's similar for Excel. You go on the cell and you click a color to highlight it. So that's basically what I'm doing there. So at the present moment, what I want to do is I want to figure out, I need to harvest radishes. So I want to figure out where those radishes are. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to sort this I'm going to sort my dates ascending, so it'll be oldest to newest. Then I'm going to sort by crop. Oh, that's my little violet talking to me. Sort it by crop. Now I'm going to sort it by in field. So now all I got to do is find my radishes right there. That's the oldest bed of radishes I have. That's Lawrence bed 6. That was planted a month ago. That should be ready now. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to head out and harvest that bed of radishes. So this is the basic idea. Like, we're using this information in real time to help us navigate on the farm. And you know, you might want to know, when did a crop germinate? That's why sometimes I have date of emergence on there, this field here. I don't always use it. I use it when I want to track when something emerges, if that's important to me. At this point on my farm, I've been doing this long enough that I know when the crops emerge, and you know, I might use it now if it was a new crop and I want to track that information, but I know now when radishes emerge in the spring and the summer and so on and so forth. So that information isn't that important to me at this point. But one thing I do with my planting sheet is I will put in a date. DTH is days to harvest, and so I'll put that date in there. Date to harvest, I should say. So for example, this bed of radishes, I put an estimated day in there, which is not today, so I'll change it to July 19th, and it'll do a calculation where I go equals this minus this date, and it'll tell me 30 days. So that information is handy going forward if you want to track your days to maturity of each crop during each time of the season. That's definitely going to help you plan your farming season better the next time around. So let's head out and harvest some radishes. One thing I've found this year is having a radish crop follow an arugula crop is a really great thing for logistics, because arugula has a tendency to keep coming up for a while after you turn it over. And that's because of the way we do it. We stir up, hoe the bed in, and you still get some of the tap roots that come up like this. And so doing radishes after arugula is great, because then when I'm harvesting the radishes, I'm also pulling out all those little arugula chunks. And I find that's been really helpful for getting a clean bed the next time. So say I wanted to plant something in here next that I didn't want arugula to be mixed into, like which is pretty much any type of salad green, then having the radishes after allows me to just pull that stuff out and clean it out so it's nice and clean the next time around. And here, again, I've said this in many videos before, but for those of you who are new, one thing that's great about radish as a crop is that you can crop it out, and then this bed is going to be clean and ready to go for the next crop. And I'm always looking for that on my farm, and that's what allows us to make the kind of profits we do on the small land base that we have, is that I need to be turning beds over constantly. And radish is great because I just crop it out and turn it over. And generally speaking, that's what I'm trying to do on the field, even with beds of greens. I want to harvest an entire bed at once, so that for one, I don't get inconsistencies in the way the crop grows. Because if you harvest half a bed of lettuce and then harvest the next half a few days later, it's going to be bigger than it was when you harvested it the first time. So it's part of consistency, but it's also allowing us to free up space to turn beds over. That's why we call this high rotation planting.